there has been many things that has significantly improved my mental health, my overall well-being, and has changed my life in a very big positive way. Um, One of the things that has helped me a lot was disconnecting. One of the things when I was going through a really, really tough time mentally, I was in a very bad place mentally, in a very dark place. It was very scary when I was going through what I was going through, and something that really helped me is disconnecting from my phone. It was disconnecting from the internet. It was disconnecting from me wanting to pick up my phone, me wanting to access the internet, me wanting to access my social media accounts, things like that. And for me, the thing that has helped me, the reason how it helped me with disconnecting from the device, is because you kind of, in the moment, it's going to be a little bit hard. But I found personally that when you are going through your own set of challenges, your own stuff, it's really hard. Again, this is just my own story from my own personal experience. It's really hard when you are going through something and you pick up your device and you come across other people who are going through stuff too. Maybe they share what they are going through, or maybe you see something that they are going through. It could really be, I don't want to say discouraging, but it could really make you get stuck with the thought that nothing ever gets better, that there is no better life out there for you, that there's no, that the place, how you, when you're in a dark place and you're feeling very stuck, um you feel stuck, or you feel hopeless, to say the least. you know the number one thing that I found personally, and this is just my own personal experience, is I had to separate myself and remove myself from me surrounding myself with others who feel the way I was feeling. And then, let me give you a story here. I don't think I've ever really shared it actually ever, for a variety of different reasons, and I'll explain in within this video. Is when I was going through a really dark time, I lost my mind. I was in a very dark place. I was I lost my mind, to say the least. Literally, I lost my mind. And during that time, I was very depressed. I was very unhappy. I was very angry with life. I was very upset with my disability. I was very upset with the life I've overall been given. I was upset with me undergoing all the pain and suffering that I have gone through. Again, with the things that my disability has caused me or brought to me. The surgeries, like just with my back, I went through 50 plus surgeries. I lost count. Literally 2 months I was in and out of the OR. Again, that's just my back surgeries. That's not including all my other procedures and other things that I dealt with. And again, that's not including like stuff that I was dealing with at home too. And I never really shared that story yet, or that entire story just yet. The reason why is because there's a lot of answers that I haven't. There's a lot of questions that I have, and there's a lot of answers that I have not yet found to those questions. However, I can say that there has been a lot of answers that I have found within a lot of my questions. Again, eventually I will talk more in depth about that. But where I was going with this is, when I was going through a really dark time, a really tough time, the number one thing that was recommended was surrounding myself to go to therapy and a group session. And I have nothing bad about this, or nothing bad about anything within this. Again, it's just not for me, and I'll explain why in a second. If it works for you, great, stick to it. If something works for you, I'm all for it. Again, this is just my story, my own experience, me sharing it with you in this video. Is when I was going through a really tough time, a very dark time, the number one thing that I found is, when I was going through these group therapy sessions, other people, when you're down, when you're stuck, when you're in a place where there is no hope, there is no light, like you're literally in a dark place and all you see is darkness. There's no form of light. When you're in a place like that, the number one thing that you shouldn't be in is surrounding yourself much more into how you feel. You can't surround yourself with people like that. When I joined this therapy session, it was recommended they thought it was going to be really good for me. I was on antidepressants at this time. I was on a lot of different things, and getting on it, especially when it was highly recommended, was one thing. Trying to get off it was a whole nother. That was a challenge within itself. And again, I will talk more in depth about this, probably more so I'll write this in my book first before I actually share this in a video or anywhere. But anyhow, is when I was going through a really dark time, a very tough time. I was in this therapy session, and a lot of people were like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" Savannah was the first thing that came to mind. "How are you doing today, Savannah?" "Oh, I'm doing good. You know, I'm going through this, or I didn't think about ... Like, it's some really dark stuff, scary stuff. And again, I have nothing bad to say about it. But when you are in a very dark place, again, the number one thing that I found is you can't surround yourself by, when you have no hope, it's really hard to find that there is hope when all you see is no hope. I hope I was able to say that correctly, but basically what I'm trying to say is, in order for you to get through whatever it is that you were going through, you have to find something that is going to help you get through whatever it is that you were going through. Again, for me, it was disconnecting. When you were going through something, for me, I had to disconnect from social media. I had to disconnect from my device. I literally wouldn't hold my phone with me. I disconnected from social media. I disconnected from everything that involved technology. And that helped me significantly, because, again, when you're going through something, when you're in a place where there's no hope, or where you feel like nothing can ever get better, the worst thing that you can ever surround yourself with is more reasons, or more reassurances, in a sense, that nothing will ever get better. And I promise you from personal experience, things do get better. It's not easy. It's very hard. It takes a whole lot of effort. It takes a lot to get through a lot, to say the least. And I wanted to make this video. I wanted to share this video because if you are going through something, or whatever it is that you're going through, I want you to know that you can overcome it. You can get through it. The thing, for those of you who may be wondering, I want the video here, the thing that helped me get through that period is I was very fortunate that I have the support system that I have. The support system that I have. I was very fortunate that I had people that kind of helped pull me out from where I was. And it was there for me. And I know a lot of people, I say I'm fortunate because I know a lot of people really don't have that support system. But the thing that helped me in a very, very significant way is watching videos on YouTube of other people, of hearing other people's stories and hearing what they had gone through and how they overcame them. For a few people that I'll share in this video, is like Oprah. Oprah Winfrey, she went through a very, very rough childhood and she overcame it. Maya Angelou, she went through a very, very, very rough upbringing and she overcame it. Grant Cardone has been through quite a lot and he overcame it. Who else am I missing here? There's so many people, like even people from my family. Like my grandmother went through so many things. She lived in an era where there was no technology. There was really a lot of things really weren't created just yet, like how we have television, or we have technology, or phones, or telephones, or cars. Like she really didn't grow up in an era like that. So for her, when I can think back really far like that and hear her parts of her story, and to hear what she had gone through, what she overcame, and to see where she's at now, it's inspiring. Same thing with my mother. Hearing stuff that she had went through. Again, we were all brought up differently in different eras, right? Different generations. and to hear what my mom had gone through and how she overcame everything that she had gone through, and to see where she's at now, you know? It's, to me, it's stuff like that that I needed to surround myself with, to show like there is hope. Like, I was going through this, it wasn't easy overcoming it. You know, it was very, very hard. It was very scary. I too didn't think I was able to overcome it, but hey, look, I did. I needed to surround myself by people who had success stories, in a sense. By success, I don't mean with money. Success to me means setting it, or going from where you are to where it is you are not. If you can find a way to get through whatever it is that you are going through, that's a success in my book. When you can overcome something and get through it and ultimately create better for yourself, to me that's success. And I wanted to mention that too. But I hope this video was able to bring some form of value to you. As I make these videos, I'm trying to be much more open. I'm trying to find ways to communicate better and how I can explain things better. And ultimately, I'm trying to find ways on how I can communicate in a way that can provide the most value possible to you guys. Something that helped me is I had to ask myself, is this something that I would watch? Because if I would watch it, if this is something I would be interested in, I can only imagine how many others would gain value from this video. Anyhow, again, I hope this video was able to bring some form of value to you. I'm always trying to find ways to improve and find ways on how I can make my videos better, and ultimately, again, ultimately bring the best value possible to you guys. Anyhow, I love you, I appreciate you, and remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.